Hello and a warm welcome to you. Today I will be interviewing a mindful money coach. She works with female entrepreneurs, supporting them to embrace their wealth and move from a place of financial fear to financial freedom. She believes that making a profit in your business and living a spiritual life doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. This makes her one very balanced woman, claiming her power in both money and spirituality and encouraging you to claim yours too. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Louise O'Reilly and I am the founder of Ascension Personal Development Academy. Ascension Personal Development was created to facilitate personal and spiritual growth in a holistic way. The Academy is 100% online, offering online courses, webinars, educational videos, blogs, resources, and more. Now, in today's interview, we will be talking about the practice of tapping. So tapping is a combination of the ancient Chinese acupuncture and modern psychology. You use your fingertips to tap certain points to shift your thoughts and energy systems into better feeling states. So without any further ado, the wonderful money mindset coach I have with me today is none other than the insightful Tamsin Young. Welcome, Tamsin, and thank you very much for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, Louise. It's always a pleasure.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, be sure to hang around to the end. Tamsin will be sharing our breathing technique with us to help reduce anxiety and stress. And she'll also be guiding us through a tapping exercise, which we can follow along with at home too. Now, first of all, what is a mindful money coach?
Mindful money coach my role is to make people more mindful about their money, because it's very easy to have money as something that's out there, something everybody wants money, but nobody wants to talk about it, nobody wants to think about it, and nobody wants to be responsible for it. Everybody talks about wanting financial freedom, but financial freedom has a lot of connotations, but one of the common connotations of what it has is, I want to do whatever I want. There's a bank account there that has a lot of money in it, and I never have to worry about whether I've got enough money or not, because it's just there. How it gets there or where it comes from, I don't need to worry about that, and I don't want to know where the money goes to, how I spend it. Don't want to know that either. And it's really about bringing people to being mindful about how they receive their money, how they feel about money in general, and how they spend their money. Are they spending the money on things that are actually a priority for them? So it's finding out what is important to you as well. There are no right or wrong answers as to how you should be earning your money, what brings you joy, or where you spend your money. It isn't a case of judging people, because everybody has different values, different what I call sacred feelings. Sacred feelings are like the essence of the work that I do. And so yeah, there's no judgment from my side on what you should be doing and how you should be doing it, but it's just bringing you to being very present with your money and using it as a tool that gives you feedback as to what changes do you need to make in your life.
Lovely. I love it. I even know myself, you think about some of the connotations or associations people have with money, and not all of them are positive. So it does bring up those, unusual feelings of, do I talk about money? Am I those things if I do think about money or care about money? So yeah, I think it's a very needed coaching business to have. Now, you have over 30 years in the accounting field, combined with experience in energy work, and you've said that you bring together the yin and the yang of money into a space where the money meets wealth. Spirituality meets wealth. And then you also do this in order to facilitate change in women's money stories. So what I want to know is, what drew you to this type of work, and what is a money story?
Okay. Well, as you've said, I've worked in the accounting field for pretty much my adult life. And I'm a very practical, linear, logical person, so it was an easy role for me to fall into. But I noticed with all the work that I did with businesses that even though people might have a good idea of money and be doing the right things, they weren't actually having the financial success that they could be enjoying. And even as an accountant, even knowing all those things that people go, oh, I'm not very good with numbers, and that would be their reason for not doing well, because I'm not good at numbers, I'm more creative, I'm more intuitive, as if those two have to be mutually exclusive.
Yes.
And they don't. And it's taken me a long time. All the time that I've been working in the accounting world, I've had an interest in the holistic therapies, and I've studied a lot of those therapies. But it was only probably about 5 or 6 years ago that I was doing some intuitive work, and I was like, whoa, this isn't me. I'm not going to be able to do this. But I did the work. People responded to me and said, wow, how did you know that? And I was like, okay, maybe I wasn't making up all this stuff, that because I just thought, oh, well, I'm just telling them this stuff, and, you know, I'm just, whatever's coming to my mind, I'm just, you know, it's just a big story that I'm making up. And these are people that I didn't know. And I thought, maybe there is something. Maybe I am intuitive. Maybe I can be linear logical and intuitive as well. There doesn't have to be this mutual exclusivity. And even as an accountant, I didn't have the financial success that I could have. And so why is it that as an accountant who has all this accounting knowledge, I wasn't getting the success that I should be? So that's when I realized that you have to have both of these things happening in your life. You have to look at your mindset, your emotional side of things, the energetic side of things, and you have to have the money management skills. You can't have one or the other. They work together. So that's where I came up with the yin and the yang, that you've got, they seem like opposites, but they're actually complementary. The money management, because when you start doing your money management side of things, that's when your fears come up. That's when the guilt and the shame comes up. And that allows you to then look at the emotional, the energetic side of it and go, okay, what is that about? What is the story? Why am I feeling that way? Why is it so difficult for me to talk about it? Why shouldn't I be talking about it? And once you deal with those things, once you clear those resistances, we talk about money blocks. They're not really blocks. It's just an emotional attachment to a story that we've had, something that's happened in our childhood, past life, whenever, it doesn't matter. There's an emotional attachment to something that's happened to us, and we're carrying that forward, and we are reacting subconsciously to something, because we can talk about things logically and go, yeah, of course, that makes total sense. But your emotions will not allow you to move through that thing, however logical, however long we can sit here and debate about it and go, and you go, oh, yes, I see, yeah, totally logical. Your emotions will win hands down every single time. So it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have and how much logic you apply to it, unless you deal with the emotions as well, you're not going to be able to move forward and change your money story. So your money story are those beliefs that you have about money, how you should earn it, how you should spend it, how you talk about it, how hard it is to earn it, whether you deserve it or not. And as women, we unfortunately have a lot more money stories than probably men do. And it starts when we're younger, growing up with those fairy tale stories of Prince Charming coming along to save us, and we're just going to be looked after. We don't have to worry our pretty little heads about that. And we go into life expecting that somebody else is going to take care of us. And it becomes a rude shock when suddenly we're on our own, or we're responsible for the family. You know, you're the only breadwinner or something, and you go, wow, I've got to deal with all these things. And we women aren't earning what they could be earning because they don't feel worthy to ask for a higher salary. They're just grateful to be earning some money. So there's a lot of things that make up where women are, if they're in their own business, asking for a good price for the work that they do, instead of just giving away all their services. So actually valuing what they can offer and the change that they can make for people.
Yep. And even when you have women that have grown up when they were little girls, even if the story wasn't that you know, they will be rescued by some prince, and you know, then they never have to worry about it. It could even be just the point of viewing or seeing and hearing those stories says that as a woman, you can't do it regardless. So you do need someone, even if it's not a Prince Charming, you do need someone to do that for you. Yep. Yep. I can see that. And in so many of the stories that we tell our children, and not that it was bad, but looking back, hindsight is a wonderful thing. And now we are picking up that maybe some of those things are giving extra emotional attachments to things like money as well.
Yeah, they are necessarily the healthiest attitude for our children to be taking forward.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. Now, you did mention you have a really good breathing technique that can help us reduce stress and anxiety. I was wondering if you could walk us through that with us now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yay!
So this technique comes from the yoga traditions, and the benefit of it comes from consistency of doing it. So it's not a case of just doing it once, oh, there we go, sorted everything out now. Like a lot of things, and like with dealing with your money and all that, it's those habits that you create. So I'll talk you through how to do it. It's you put the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, just behind your teeth. So it's like there. You breathe in for the count of 4. You hold your breath for the count of 7, and you exhale through your mouth, through an open mouth. So you breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. So it's like,
oh, with the tongue still up the top. Okay.
Yeah. So it might feel funny or feel strange, whatever, but you know, you kind of get over it. The speed that you do your 4, 7, 8 at doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not going to say go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you've already ready to breathe out. You breathe at a pace that feels good for you. Now, when you're doing it, you only do 4 cycles at a time.
Yep.
And the best way to do it is morning and evening. And then during the day, if you're in a situation where you start feeling anxious, you can do it again. But any time that you do it, you don't want to do it more than 4 times at a time, and then give yourself a break. Now, in the beginning, you may feel a bit lightheaded or something like that. So be sensible when you're doing it. If you are feeling a little bit not okay, stop doing it. It's not a dangerous exercise or anything like that, but be aware, let your body feel into your body and what you're doing. If you can have your feet on the ground, having that connection to the earth, so much the better. So we can go through the 4 counts if you want, through the 4 cycles if you'd like to do that, or if you're just happy that
let's do 2 cycles so we can show how to do that.
Okay, so breathing in, hold, out, in, hold, out. And then when you're finished, just give yourself that time, keep your eyes closed. Well, I like doing it with my eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed, and just allow your breathing to come back to normal. And just doing that just allows you that time. Any kind of deep breathing is going to help you, to be quite honest. You know, breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, out for the count of 4, hold for the count of 4. It's just that slowing down, allowing yourself to become present and relaxing. And it just brings that calmness back to your body. It brings that peacefulness back to your body. It just takes you out of that franticness. And it is something that is very simple. You can do it anywhere, anytime. Okay, you might look a little bit strange breathing out through your mouth going. You do it discreetly, even if you are in the shops. You know, you can do it. You know, as I say, it's one of those things that it doesn't have to. You can be sitting at the set of lights, or if you've been in a stressful situation and somebody's really annoyed you, walk away, go to the bathroom, go to your office, go to your bedroom, wherever you need to, and just do that 4 times. And just allow yourself that time to go, okay, right. And then think about, what am I going to do about that? Because when you do it in the heat of the moment, you're not likely to make a decision that's going to be in your best interests.
Yep. Wow, I can already feel the energy has really calmed just by doing those two rounds. That's amazing.
And it's very good for people if they're battling to sleep at night. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep, just do that. And I had a woman who said, oh, she was battling to sleep. What could she do? And I told her about this breathing technique. And she said, like that, it works. I said to her, it might not work straight away. And it's not going to be a miracle worker for everybody. But she has said it's been the most fantastic thing for her. Obviously, doesn't have the side effects of taking sleeping pills or things like that. So it really is a wonderful, natural way, easy way, quick way of creating change. And people who have anxiety, it may take a couple of months, even years, for you to really get it under control. But if you're prepared to stick with it and be consistent with it, you can notice amazing differences.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing too, with a lot of the different techniques or different modalities and that, it's kind of what resonates with you best. So it's really good just to get a knowledge of all the different things, and then you'll know which one works for you, which one resonates and feels good with you. So that's really wonderful that you're sharing that stuff with us. All right, next question. We're going to move into tapping now. So can you explain what tapping actually is, and what is EFT? Because this is an acronym that you sent me and I did have to Google what it meant. So can you let us know what that is?
Okay. So tapping really relates to what you're doing. You're tapping, you mentioned earlier, you're taking your fingertips and you're tapping on meridian points. So tapping is kind of the common term that's used. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And I was talking earlier about the emotional attachment that we have to these stories that we have, whether they're money stories or relationship stories, it doesn't matter. And often you will find that if you go to a practitioner, we all have different pain points. So somebody's pain point may be money, somebody's may be weight, somebody's may be relationships. You can go to different practitioners, you're all going to get down to the same root cause at the end of the day. It's just which door you go into to find these issues that are playing out in your life. So the emotional freedom technique is releasing the emotional attachment that you have to those stories that have created whatever the situation is that you are in. And by doing the tapping, you're releasing that emotional attachment and you're allowing yourself to move into something, that ability to create new decisions, which will take you on a new path. Because as I said earlier, logic can explain away so much, but unless you deal with the emotional side, you're never going to move forward.
Yeah. And that's why so much of the health stuff around, caring for your nutrition and that, we know all the good stuff for us, but it's the logic that doesn't do the thing. It's the emotion that does the thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what happens with people is that they get anxious about something. There are situations that trigger them. So say you had a bad experience with a dog. You're a young child and you're walking down the street and this dog jumped on you and maybe barked in your face. And it was a really, really scary experience for you. So you now attach this fear to dogs. And when you're older, every time you see a dog, you go into this panic state, you get anxious. And because your body just goes, dog, being attacked, danger. And your brain goes into like shutdown and you cannot think rationally. Logic just doesn't come into it. You can't make decisions. So what EFT or tapping does, it acts like a circuit breaker. So you tap along, you get this movement in your meridians, which is your energy channels, and it just goes, let's just change that, let's stop those thoughts, that feeling, and let's just bring some calmness and peacefulness to the body. And then when you've done that, you can go, oh, okay. And because you start talking as you're going through it, you don't have to talk when you're doing it, but talking does help. Saying those words, letting all those things out, because people go, but I don't want to say all those negative things because, law of attraction, I'm then going to be bringing all those negative things into my life. That's not how it works. By saying it, you're actually expressing it, because that stuff's inside of you anyway. Yep. So if you can actually express it, you're releasing it and you're letting it go.
Yeah.
You're releasing it while you're tapping. You've got that pattern interrupter and you're talking about it. You're calming your nervous system down while you're talking about it, and it's going, oh, okay, yeah, oh, that's fine, okay, yeah, I can release that, all right, I can let that go. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And so it releases it. Some things can go like that. Other things may take a number of sessions to work through. And there's always different layers that we've got to work on as well. So, and because a lot of our stuff happens in our imagination, going back to the dog, it may not even be a real dog. You might see a picture of a dog and your body just goes, dog. You break out into the street and you're going, why am I so nervous? Or you make a decision and it seems such a silly decision to make. And you go, why would I do that? With your money, you go, why do I keep buying these things? I know I don't need it. But there's something underlying that, something creating that anxiety. All those base security needs, we're feeling threatened in some way. Right, let's use some tapping, calm the body down, reassess everything.
Awesome. So with the tapping, if you're doing on yourself, are you just simply tapping or are you doing anything else while you're doing that tapping stuff?
Okay, so there's different ways to do it. I do it a little bit differently. When I'm working with somebody one-on-one, I do it a little bit differently to how most practitioners do it. Most practitioners use what they call the echo method. So you'll do the tapping and I'll say something and you will repeat what I'm saying. I find when I'm working with people, that keeps them up here in their brain because they're so busy thinking about what has she said. I've got to repeat that perfectly because otherwise she's going to laugh at me, etc., etc. So what I do is I get the people, I will talk to the person beforehand, find out what their problem is, how they're feeling, where they feel it in the body. I love working with the body because the body doesn't lie. The body is the barometer of your soul and it will tell you how you're feeling. If you take the time to listen and tune in, it will tell you what is going on. But we're busy, haven't got time to listen, we've got to keep going. Take that time out to actually sit and listen and feel into your body. Where is that resistance? Where is that tension? Where is that discomfort? And they'll tell me about it and I'll make notes about what they're saying. And then we'll start tapping. And I encourage them to close their eyes and feel into the body because that feeling may move. It may start off in their sacral area and they might feel this discomfort. Their stomach might just be in all knots and with tension. And so you tap away, you talk about it, and then it moves. It comes up into the chest or the throat or the arm or the leg or wherever. And their job is just to follow it, feel it, be aware of it, acknowledge it. Not hold on to it, not go, oh yeah, I remember that story. It's like sitting on a riverbank and there are these logs floating by. You just go, oh, there's a log. Oh yeah, okay. You don't jump into the river and pull it out and study it and all that. So these stories come up, these memories come up. You go, oh yeah, let it go, let it go, let it go. And it's all that non-attachment, that awareness, that acknowledgement. At the end, you may remember what came up and you may share that with me. You may not remember what came out, and that's okay. It's come and it's gone and it's moved on. So we're never going to change the stories of what happened in the past. What happened, happened. What we can do is we can change the emotional attachment you have, that you can actually talk about that story without getting all emotional, without that reaction to it. So yeah, that's really how we work.
Wow, I really like that analogy of the logs floating on the river. That works perfectly. Sometimes when you're talking about being mindful and just observing things, sometimes people can't understand what is actually meant by that, but that is a perfect way to just say, you're sitting by a river, you see some logs, you see the logs, you don't have to pick them up and examine them, you just see them and watch them drift on. So I really love that analogy. And I love the fact that you brought up the law of attraction in that too, because if you are thinking about those negative things or speaking those negative things, that is a very early concept of what the law of attraction is, and that's not actually what the law of attraction is. The law of attraction is more attached to the emotions. So if you're feeling those emotions, it's attracting to you. And all you're doing in your tapping practice is going, okay, let's identify you've got these emotions, which is why you're attracting this stuff. Let's cut those attachments to those stories so that we can give you a new attractive point, give you some kind of new energetic emotional attachment and bring in better into your life. So I love law of attraction. I swear by law of attraction. So I'm so glad you brought that up. So you pretty much answered in that all the questions I had lined up for you. So if anyone wants to know where to find Tamsin, please go to facebook.com/your prosperity goddess. And a prosperity goddess she certainly is. So there you can book an appointment with Tamsin. And if you have a look, she already has quite a collection of helpful videos on tapping, breathing techniques, clearing money limitations, creating wealth and abundance in a spiritually aligned way. So once you finish watching this interview, be sure to head over to her Facebook page and have a squiz. And also, if you're a YouTube fan, Tamsin has plans to post these videos on there soon. So there will be videos on tapping points, how EFT works, how to tap on your own, and more. Now, this is the part of the interview where I hand it over to Tamsin to run a guided tapping exercise that we can follow along with. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So what I will do, can you just give me 2 seconds to let the cat out the door?
Sure. We kind of expected the cat would do this. Yeah. We predicted it, didn't we? We attracted it to us.
We did. I actually thought that he'd come along and drink the water, which he normally does, but anyway, he decided he wanted to go out instead. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go through the tapping points first, just so that you are aware of where I'm talking about. I do use some different points to what other people use. I'm not saying that it's the only way to do it. If you've got a different way of doing it, if you get lost, if you don't keep up with me, it doesn't matter. There isn't some magic to the sequence that I use. It's just a number of different points that I use. Some points are probably stronger than others. Again, it doesn't really matter. Just do what works for you. Even if you only tap on one point and do everything on that one point, it will be effective. So do not get caught up with, am I doing it right? Am I saying the right thing, etc., etc. There is no right or wrong. The only thing that you need to do is do it. Okay, and tap into your emotions and your feelings. Because the other thing that people worry about is, what do I say? I don't know what to say. Don't say anything. If you can't think of anything, just tune into your body and think about, oh, okay, right, that's where I'm feeling it. Yep, okay. If you feel like crying, cry. Just let those emotions flow out. That is what you're wanting to tap into. That is where it's really powerful. But also don't wait until you have this really big emotional thing that you need to deal with. Do it on a daily basis. You don't have to have something big. Just tap through it. Tap how you're feeling. Tap on how your day was. Any little niggly thing that you had. I always compare it to having a ball of wool. And if you do it on a daily basis, you're just pulling a little thread out here and there and everywhere. And before you know it, this ball of wool collapses. But you go, oh, it doesn't really matter. It's not that effective. It is effective by doing it regularly. Just like with that breathing, you do it regularly. It doesn't have to take long, 5 or 10 minutes in the morning and the evening. And you can really make a big difference in your life. So you start off on the karate chop point, which is the side of your hand, and you're using your fingertips and you tap away on the side there. We then move to the back of the hand. Between the ring finger and the little finger, there's that little meaty part in there. You just tap there. Now, I do recommend that you just tap a little bit gentler because it is a more delicate area. I then move to the side of the hands. I'll start tapping with this part of the hands. I tap on the side of the thumb. I move to the side of the index finger, the ring finger, sorry, the middle finger, the ring finger, the little finger. I then move to the top of the head. So it's like a railway track. You're just going up and down. Then to the eyebrow point. So those points there. You can either use 2 fingers like that, You can use two hands, you can tap like that. You can just tap on one side. When I do my face, I like to tap on both sides at the same time. I'm an accountant. I like things to be balanced. You don't have to. You just want to do one side and do the other side the next time, it's fine. So it's the eyebrow point. Then it's the side of your eyes. So basically on the side of those bones there. Just tapping there. Under your eyes, again, just on the edge of the bone. Under your nose. On your chin. And then do, so this collarbone area, nice meaty part here, just banging away there. I'll then move to behind the shoulders. You can either use the opposite hand to the shoulder, or you can take both hands back and do both shoulders together. If it's uncomfortable, if you're, you can't have that movement of your arms and you can't reach it, skip it out. As I said, it's not the end of the world if you miss it. Then go under the arms. So for a woman, it's basically where your arm strap, the bra strap is. You don't have to lift your arm up when you're doing it. I just lift it up so people can see. I just have it down like this and do it there. So under the one arm, under the other arm, and then I go across the bottom of the rib cage, just going in and out. And then I finish off with tapping the inner wrists together. And then relaxing the hands, just placing them in your lap, and just taking that time again to just breathe, feel into how you're feeling, letting it go, and then you can come back and carry on with whatever you're doing. So I'll tap through, and I'll just tap through some general anxiety relating to money, what people might be thinking, how they might be feeling. You can tune into however you're feeling right here, right now, as you go through the video, and just have that awareness of what is happening in your own body as we're tapping through it. I encourage you to keep your eyes closed while we're doing the tapping. I'll hold my hand up when I'm tapping on the different points. I will say when I'm moving to the next point. If you want to open your eyes to have a look where I'm at, you can. Or, as I've said, you just go along and tap wherever you're familiar with. It doesn't matter. But don't worry about getting it wrong. That's the biggest thing. Okay, so we can start. Just start tapping on the side of your hand on the karate chop point. And just taking a deep breath in and letting it out. And just allowing yourself to tune into your body, tune into what it's feeling, any anxiety, any concerns, any uncertainty about your finances, your money, where money's coming from, where it's going to, all the expenses you've got. Maybe you haven't got enough income to cover your expenses. You don't know what you're going to do, what's going to happen. And just making that conscious choice to release that anxiety, that fear, right here, right now. And moving to the back of the hand onto the gamut point. All these feelings, all these emotions, they're buried so deep within you. And making that choice to release and let them go. So many years you've buried them deep, all that worry, all those sleepless nights, all that tension and anxiety, that churning of your stomach, all that worry, where am I going to find the money, all those bills that come in and I never know what to do with them. Always worried about where my money's going to come from. Am I going to have enough? Choosing to release that easily and effortlessly. And taking a deep breath in, and letting it go. Moving to the side of the thumb. All those stories, all those experiences. And I think of what it was like when I was growing up. The problems that my parents had, the fights over money. Letting it go. Moving to the side of your index finger. All the emotional attachment to those stories, all those beliefs I've inherited. Letting it all go. Moving to the side of your middle finger. All my fears, all my worries. I can feel them moving in my body, being released. I'm allowing myself to be aware of them and release any attachment to them and just let them go. Moving to the side of your ring finger. Whenever I see a bill coming in the mail or by email, I can feel my body just breaking out into a sweat. Am I going to have enough money? Have I got enough credit on my card to pay for it this time? What if I'm at the shops and my purchases rejected? Oh, the embarrassment, the shame. Letting all that go. Moving to the side of your little finger. Thinking that I've got it all under control. Other people thinking that I've got all my financials all sorted and I know what I'm doing. When really I'm just at sea with it all. I don't even know where to start getting everything under control. Releasing the fear, releasing the judgment that I'm not good enough, that I don't know what I'm doing. Releasing all that emotional attachment. Just allowing it to be released. Moving to the top of your head. All these feelings, all these emotions, all the fears of my mother, all the fears of my father, all the beliefs that have been passed down from generation to generation, all those ones that don't support me, that don't help me. I'm choosing to let them go, easily and effortlessly. Moving to the eyebrow point. I get to choose what beliefs I have about money. I don't have to adopt the fears that my parents had. I don't have to adopt the worries that they have or the struggles. I don't have to take the same approach of, I have to work really hard all the time and have no fun to be able to earn just enough to pay the bills. I'm allowing myself to be open to financial success, to financial freedom. Moving to the side of your eyes. Letting go all those fears, letting go those beliefs. Allowing it to be easy. Letting go of all the guilt and shame, all the decisions, all the mistakes I've made. Moving to under your eyes. All the things I didn't know and I've learned the hard way. About credit, about managing my money, thinking I wasn't capable. Releasing and letting go of those beliefs. Knowing that it's not true. That maybe I just haven't been taught how to do things. Allowing myself to be open to the opportunities. Moving to under your nose. All the fear, all the worry, all the stress, all that tension in my chest, that lump in my throat. Releasing and letting it go. Onto your chin. Every breath that I take in, just allowing it to move through my body. Find those places of resistance, those places of tension. And just allowing it to wrap itself around it like a beautiful warm blanket. And as I breathe out, I'm breathing out the resistance. I'm breathing out the struggle. I'm breathing out the constriction that I'm feeling in my body. And I'm allowing myself to be open to expansion. Moving to your collarbone area. All the associations and the triggers, all the colors and the symbols relating to my fears and my worries about money, my inadequacies with managing my money, all those beliefs that I've inherited, that I've created. I'm choosing to let them all go easily and effortlessly. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Moving to behind your shoulders. Releasing from my physical body, from my energetic body, my conscious and my subconscious brain. Easily and effortlessly. Taking a deep breath in. And letting it go. I'm moving to under your one arm. All these feelings, all these fears. It's like this weight on my shoulder. It's like a heavy backpack that I've been carrying along with me, struggling under the weight. And I'm choosing to let that go now. I'm taking the backpack off and I'm placing it on the ground. All those rocks, all that heaviness, all that pressure. Putting it on the ground and turning around and walking away from it. I don't need to take that into the future with me. It can be easy. I can allow it to be easy. Moving to under the other arm. I'm choosing to allow a sense of peacefulness and calmness to move throughout my body. Starting in the center of my chest, imagining, feeling, sensing this white golden light. And just with each and every breath that I take, feeling it expanding through my body, easily and effortlessly, up through my neck, filling my head, moving across my shoulders, down my arms, into my hands, feeling the energy pulsing in the palms of my hands, moving through my hips, down my legs, into my feet, and feeling that energy connecting with Mother Earth and flowing up and down. Moving to across the bottom of your rib cage, just feeling and seeing your whole physical body filled with this beautiful golden light, pushing out any darkness, any negativity, any anxiety, any discomfort and tension, and just filling it with light, with peacefulness and calmness, and allowing it to move beyond your physical body into your energetic body. And just feel that sense of being held and supported by the universe, knowing that all is well, and allowing yourself to be open to expansion and to opportunities, to be open to the guidance and the courage to take the steps that you are guided to do. Just gently tapping your inner wrists together. Just relaxing and placing your hands in your lap, keeping your eyes closed. Just tuning back into your body, feeling how you feel, if there's still any tension, any discomfort. And when you're ready, just wriggle your fingers and toes, and just blink open your eyes.
Wow. There's always a risk of me falling asleep when I do these things. It's a huge risk.
Oh, well, I'm glad you didn't.
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. For me, afterwards, I felt quite expansive. Like I could feel myself expanding. So
yeah,
that's, wow, really good. Awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Now, for those of you who want a reminder of where to find Tamsin, you can find her on facebook.com/yourprosperitygoddess. And if you want to know where to find me, you can find me on facebook.com/Ascension Personal Development. Now, Tamsin, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. You know, not only did you share your insights about money and spirituality, for sharing your breathing technique, for teaching us about EFT and tapping, and also for giving us that tapping exercise too. That is just absolutely massive. I'm very appreciative. Thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. And also to our audience, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Louise O'Reilly, and I hope you have a fantastic day filled with wealth and abundance. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.